Hi everybody, we're going to start our unit in Ag Mechanics today talking about tools. So to start, I want to play a quick game. We're going to have the class divide in half, and what I want to do is I'm going to describe to you a common tool that you have probably seen in your life at one point or another, and I want you to try to guess what tool I'm describing. So first we have a hand tool that is used for turning a screw. It's consisting of a handle attached to a long, narrow shank, usually of metal, which tapers and flattens out to a tip that fits in the slotted head of a screw. So does anyone know what tool I'm talking about?
Screwdriver?
That is correct. It is a screwdriver. Good job. So the next one is it's a heavy piece of metal at the end of a handle, and it's used to hit nails on a piece of wood or a wall, or to break things into pieces, or to even pry nails out of wherever they've been nailed into. Does anyone know what tool I'm talking about?
Hammer?
A hammer, yes. So we're talking about a hammer. So these two tools are extremely common. Does anyone know why they think they recognize this tool by the description and not necessarily a picture? Why do you recognize it just by its description alone? Is it because that we use it so often, that you see it all the time? Yes? Yes. So these are tools that most people see. Some people see them every day. Most people see them at least once or twice a month, really, depending on how much improvement you have in your house or how much type of projects you do. So these are extremely common tools. So my question to you guys is, if it was a tool you'd never seen before and you'd never used before, do you think that if I showed you a picture of it, you would be able to tell me what the purpose of that tool is?
No.
No. There are many specialized tools in all different fields, including carpentry, electrician, mechanic, and so it's important to understand that there's a large amount of tools that we might not see very often in our everyday lives, but there are people and careers out there where the people who do those careers use these tools every day, and it becomes an intricate, like an essential part of what they do for a living. So today we're going to have a little bit of a what am I game where you guys will create a hypothesis based on observations, questions, and communications within a group to describe the use of a certain tool. So what I'm going to have you do is I'm going to have you guys divide into 5 groups, and there are stations around where you're going to find a picture of a tool, and you're going to have a recording sheet next to that picture. I want each group to assign a person to be the recorder for your group. And what you're going to do is you're going to go to each station, you're going to look at the picture, and I want you guys to take the time, communicate with your group, and just come up with a hypothesis as a group what you think this tool is used for. So what I want you to do is I want you to examine the picture, and there are a list of questions on the worksheets, and I want you to record the answers to the questions that you think applies to this tool. I'm going to be around to answer questions, or maybe even ask some questions of my own to get you guys really thinking about what these tools were used for. Okay, so you guys have all done the first picture. So now I'm going to have you rotate pictures. The important thing that you guys are going to have to look at when you're in your new station with your new picture is that the recording sheet stays with the picture. So that means that you guys are going to have the opportunity to read the previous group's hypothesis. And what I want you to do is look at the previous group's hypothesis, look at the picture, and come up with a brand new original hypothesis. I don't want it to have anything to do with the previous group's hypothesis. So I want you guys to talk amongst yourself, I'll be around, and I want a new original hypothesis for this new tool. Okay, so you guys have completed your second group, or your second picture, so I'm going to have you guys move to the third station, and we're going to repeat this. We're going to repeat this process with the next picture. So I want you guys to look at the picture, look at the recording sheet that's with the picture, and come up with a new hypothesis not related to the other two that are currently on there. Alright, so now you guys have all gone through the pictures. All 5 pictures you guys have seen. We've done this rotation 5 times, and you guys have now written 5 hypotheses, 1 for each picture. So now I want you guys to go back to your original picture, the first one you guys saw, the first hypothesis you came up with. I want you to read the recording sheet. I want you to read all of the hypotheses that all the groups put down, and I want you to write a new hypothesis for this tool. You can be your original hypothesis if you think that that's the best fit for the description of the tool. You can take pieces from the other hypotheses and put it together and make a new one. Or you can trash all of them and write a brand new one, but I want you guys to look at it, and I want you guys to maybe rethink what you originally thought and come up with a new hypothesis. Alright, so you guys now have your new hypothesis. So now I want you guys to have a speaker, assign a speaker, and I'm going to take turns, and each group is going to come up and you're going to present your picture and present the final hypothesis that you guys came up with for the tool's use. Okay, so we're going to have group number 5 present. They had picture number 5. What was your hypothesis for the picture?
My hypothesis was that it was used for some sort of measuring.
Some sort of measuring, okay. What evidence do you have to back up your hypothesis that it was used to measure something?
Well, based on the picture, it looked like the tool had an ability to tighten or loosen, perhaps used to measure lengths.
Okay. Do you think your hypothesis would be different if you had the actual object in your hand and not just the picture?
Oh, absolutely.
Why?
I could hold it from different angles. I could actually touch it, see if it moves.
Right, right. Okay. So do you think your personal experience influenced your hypothesis at all? Have you ever used anything like this before?
To an extent, just based on the shape, I thought.
Alright, good. Okay, so everyone has presented their hypotheses, so we are actually going to go over the 5 tools, and we'll see if you guys were in the right ballpark. So, object 1, we have a slate stake. It's used to cut slate. For example, if you're roofing with slate, the vertical bar of the T is pointed, so it can be driven into a rafter, and the horizontal bar is used to support slate while you're working on them, cutting, smoothing, that kind of thing. Object number 2 is known as lasting pliers and a hammer. It is used during the lasting process of shoemaking to make the final shape of the shoe. Object number 3 is a plumb bob. It is a weight, usually with a pointed tip on the bottom, suspended from a string, and is used as a vertical reference line, also known as a plumb line. Object number 4 is splicing pliers. It is used to splice wires and strip insulation. And object number 5 is known as an outside spring caliper. It is used to measure thickness and outside diameter of objects. So group number 5 were correct when they said it was used to measure objects. Yeah. So it is used to measure thickness and outside diameter of objects. So you guys have looked at a variety of tools from a variety of different occupations, and all these tools are still used today. These are just more antique versions, but now you know that tools range from just a hammer and a screwdriver to some that are very specific in their purpose and very specific in the occupations that use them. So hopefully now you guys know that tools come in a variety of shapes, sizes, and uses.